Hello and a very good afternoon to all of those who are joining me live on the Facebook page of News 9. I'm Neha. The COVID-19 pandemic, as you all know, has created havoc across the country. India particularly has been reporting an exponential rise in the number of cases with each passing day. India's COVID-19 tally is steadily approaching towards a grim milestone of 27 lakh. The country has stepped into the unlock phases and the things are, of course, unlocking slowly. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government had put off the monsoon session of Parliament, but now the Parliament session is set to commence either in the last week of August or early September. From staggered seating arrangements to devices to kill viruses, there will be several firsts that will be witnessed. So the Parliament session, if I have to talk about a few, the Parliament session will see several things such as the installment of ultraviolet radiation system to kill the viruses, staggered seating arrangements. Now this step particularly has been taken keeping social distancing in mind. As you all know that people are supposed to maintain at least 6 feet of distance or 2 gaz ki duri in Prime Minister's words if I have to put in. So of course seats also have been reserved for Prime Minister, Union Ministers, leaders of the House. This time around, only a handful of journalists will be allowed. So the session also has been reduced to just 4 hours per day in both the houses, Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. Display screens will be set up in the chambers in both these houses. So with these changes, the government is gearing up to convene monsoon session of Parliament, and it is being said that this is the first time since 1952 such an arrangement would be witnessed, where 60 members will be seated in the chamber and 51 in the galleries of Rajya Sabha and the remaining 132 in the chamber of Lok Sabha. Now I have with me my colleague Supriya, who joins me live from the national capital. Thank you very much, Supriya, and I hope you're doing well. First and foremost, I've already outlined a few things that one will get to witness in the monsoon session of Parliament. Do tell us in detail what it's going to be like.
Well, hello to viewers and to you also, Neha. And yes, I'm keeping well as far as the coronavirus is concerned. Delhi somewhat has been able to put a little bit of, curve on it. As we can say, it's not getting out of the hands. Earlier the numbers were peaking, but now it is slightly under control. But at the same time, because of the situation which was there in Delhi, for the first time, many changes have been introduced by the government as far as the Parliament session is concerned. Now, what we are hearing is that the session is already, which is delayed. Earlier, the monsoon session usually gets held in the mid-week of August or in the beginning of the month of August, but this time it is already delayed. If you remember, the budget session was also cut short because of coronavirus. And now there are many new things which have been introduced. For example, there will be, what we are learning from our sources is that 4 large display screens in the chambers and 6 small screens in the 4 galleries of the houses will be put up. At the same time, also, the sitting arrangements have been changed. The galleries which are there also the MPs will be sitting, and for that they are ensuring that consoles are being fitted so that the members can participate during the debate. At the same time, also ultraviolet germicidal eradication will be used in the air conditioning units of the Rajya Sabha to ensure that the germs don't spread that much. At the same time, we are also hearing from our sources that the special cables are being laid to connect both the houses, that is the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha of the Parliament, to ensure that audio-visual signals and the proper proceedings of both the houses, that is Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha, is transmitted, and people are able to know as to what is going on in both the houses. Interestingly, Neha, what we are also learning from our sources is that usually when the Parliament starts, there are people who come in large number to see the Parliament proceedings. That has been cut short. No guests will be allowed. At the same time, also, there were many people who were the party workers or the leaders or the ex-MPs who used to come and see the Parliament proceedings. This time, that won't be allowed. And at the same time, also, the number of the journalists has also been limited to 15. So in one go, only 15 journalists will go. They will go and sit in the galleries. Again, the coronavirus guidelines will be followed, where they have to do the social distancing, and social distancing norms will be followed to the hill. Now, we are hearing that as far as the Parliament's galleries and chambers are concerned, both will be used for the first time in the history of the Indian Parliament since 1952. And these arrangements which are taking place are first of its kind due to coronavirus restrictions and social distancing norms will be followed to the hilt is what the sources
All
are
right.
telling us.
So, Supriya, as we know that COVID-19, those who are above the age of 60 or more than the others, of course, do tell us that what are the steps taken for those leaders who are aged or comorbid? Because COVID-19 sort of impacts more who are above the age of 60, affects those people
Well,
more.
Neha, the official guidelines are yet to come because still it's in the discussion stages which is going on. But certainly, yes, what we are hearing is that the seats will be earmarked from this. They will be earmarked properly as to these are the seats of the concerned MPs. There will be proper social distancing norms. Also, there will be minimum, the authorities are working on a plan wherein there will be minimum contact of the outsiders with the MPs, and more digital technology is used. What we're hearing is that many of the seats which will be decided before only earmarked, and the MPs will also be told that in case there is a lot of important work, then only they should stay back in the house. Otherwise, they should follow the social distancing norms and all the norms which are being associated with the coronavirus restrictions. So still it is in the pipeline. Yes, there is a massive concern as far as the safety and security of the MPs who are above the age of 60 and they have comorbidities. So that is keeping in mind. And what we are hearing is that during the arrangements in both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, the galleries and the chambers. Now, this is for the first time this is happening, that galleries and chambers will be used for the sitting, and 16 members will be there in the chamber, 51 in the galleries of the Rajya Sabha, and remaining 132, which includes the recently bypolled for 2 seats in the chambers of Lok Sabha. So, in a way, it's going to be really interesting to see as to how they will work. Respective houses are going to have there will be full strength of the houses. We have to see how many MPs turn up. We are also hearing that it's not going to be a very long session. It's going to be a session which might be of 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Still, the discussions are going on as to how to make the arrangements. What we are hearing is that everything will be finalized in a week or so, and then the proper how the functioning of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will take place will be told to the media. But that one thing is for sure, that there are many senior leaders, which include Dr. Monsoon, Mr.
H.D.
Devegowda,
Devegowda.
these are former prime ministers. For them, special arrangements will be made for what the sources are telling us.
All right. Quickly, Supriya, just last question, if I had to ask you this before I let you go. What are the steps particularly taken to minimize the physical handling of various documents? Are we looking at paperless parliament session? Any word discussion on that?
Well, it's a very good question. As far as the parliament is concerned, already parliament was moving towards digital India and paperless work, and this time what we are hearing is that there will be minimum use of paper to avoid any such situation where the virus might get transmitted through the papers. So what we are hearing is that there will be minimum use of papers, audio-visual signals will be there, there will be polycarbonate separators which will be used. At the same time also, the parliamentarians have been told that they can ask the questions and the answers will be uploaded digitally. What we are hearing at the same time also, Neha, that what the sources are telling us is that as far as this entire proceedings are concerned, minimum use of paper will be there, minimum use of contact will be there as far as the parliament proceedings are concerned. Digitally, the questions might be asked and digitally they might be uploaded. Yes, there will be 0 hours. The proceedings will be in a different way than what used to happen in previous sessions.
Right. Thank you so very much, Supriya, for joining me with all of those details. Well, of course, this time around, several firsts will certainly be witnessed in Parliament this monsoon session. Thank you so very much for joining me on the Facebook page of News9. If at all you like this video and found it helpful, do not forget to subscribe News9 YouTube, like us on News9 Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And do remember that the numbers are rising exponentially. The COVID-19 situation hasn't subsided. Please take care of yourself as well as your family members. Thank you for joining me. Stay safe.